Welcome to the Connersville Parks Board meeting, April 28th, 2025. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please turn your cell phone ringer off if you have that on. Angie, would you please do the roll call?
Amy Hammonds.
Here.
Angie McMullen.
Here.
Ann Kirshner.
Here.
Vane Leshua.
Here.
Julie Fisher. Rob Ball.
Here.
Okay. Reading of the minutes from the March 31st meeting. Has everyone had a chance to go over that? And are there any additions or corrections to that? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I so move.
Okay, Ann, second.
I'll second it.
Angie, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carried. Marla, the superintendent's report.
Yeah, so in April at the Board of Works meeting, I had submitted a request for several park improvement projects to be approved and schedule the completion of those projects. The projects that I had requested was the installation of new doors and new kitchen design at the Miller Building, and the restoration of the water slides and steel structure at the pool, and then a new locking system for all of our, or most of our park buildings and public restrooms. And we're also installing cameras as well at different various locations. And so this money is coming from a 2023 bond that the city had come available, and it was divvied out between different departments. And so we were able to receive a portion of that bond. And so that's how this is being funded. And that bond was, it had to be designated for specific things. It wasn't just something that we could use money however we wanted. It had to be designated for specific things. So that's why we had to choose these projects. So these projects will start seeing the improvements probably starting in May. The pool slide and structure is set to be started in May and hopefully completed by Memorial Day weekend when we open up. So it will look like we have brand new slides. It's going to be great to start the pool season off with restorated slides. So, and then all of the other things are going to come as we can plan them out. We're also still doing the project at the Roberts Building. Our, just to give you an update, our occupancy is still at 100 because they are not finished with the beam structures in the basement. So once that project is completed, then which hopefully this summer that will be completed, then we'll be able to get approval for that to then raise the occupancy level back up again. So that's where we stand with the Roberts Building. I will let Logan talk more about sports and stuff, but I just will mention that we had a lot of flooding a couple weeks ago with all that rain, and the ball fields, the water rose to anywhere between 5 and 7 feet, and it got pretty high. So there's a lot of work that still is being done at the ball fields right now. We had a lot of corn stalks that covered everything. And we have some power lines down or phone lines. We're not quite sure what those are yet. We're trying to get information on that. And then our team has been working on the restrooms. They spent quite a few hours there on Sunday trying to get those cleaned up, and it's just a muddy mess. Like, if you try to spray it, it just turns into mud. And so they have to like scrape it and do all kinds of stuff to get the mud off of the floor, the walls, it covered everything. So I just ask that everybody be patient as we try to get that all cleaned up in time for opening day for baseball. Our comprehensive park plan, just to give you an update on that, because I haven't talked about that for a while. It is in the final process of being reviewed by Indiana DNR. And once we receive the approval of the completion of that plan, then HWC will have that in print for us. So anybody will be able to come into our office and take a look at it if they would like. It'll be a good guideline and checklist for us moving forward for the next 5 years. So we hope to have that in hand within a month or two. And then we did have our grand opening. Oh no, let me go back. We're gearing up for our groundbreaking for Offutt's Park and the skate park projects. We hope to have some dated timelines coming up here real soon. And then I will be posting updates on Facebook once I get those dates, so that people can keep track of, what the progress is and how it's going at both the skate park and Offutt's Park. Bunnies and Brownies we had on April 10th. We had a great turnout. We had 406 community members come through Bunnies and Brownies, and 14 local businesses. Kelly may talk more about this, but just to give a special thank you to TV3 and for taking the photos for us and putting them on Facebook. And then Breakfast with the Bunny was April 12th, and we had 15 participants. It went really well. I'm sorry, 50, not 15. And Kelly did a great job organizing that, and I'm sure she'll talk a little bit more about that. And then John Long Memorial 2nd Street Park, we had a grand opening on April 16th, and you'll see the picture slides going on here if you weren't able to attend. It was a great turnout. I did not get a count of how many were there, but we had quite a few people. Most of the family members for Joe Long came in on the train. And we had kids there. They were playing and laughing and having lots of fun. The train stuck around, so it was in the background of all the pictures, and while the speakers were talking. We had the ribbon cutting, so most of those people that you see are Joe Long's family, and they were able to cut the ribbon and take some of that home. This is the committee that organized the park and the plans of it and everything like that. Dr. Green, thank you. Robert was in my mind. He created that library, that Dr. Seuss library. It is really neat. It's really great design. He did a great job. So there was so many hands that went into this park, and we are so thankful that we were able to celebrate the grand opening. It was a really pretty day, and we're glad that is now completed. Some dates that we had on April 26th our indoor garage sale, and then on May 7th we have Spartan Service Day. We have a group coming from the high school that's going to help clean the pool and get that ready to go so that we can start filling the pool. And then they're going to go probably to the baseball fields and help clean up down there. And then season opening at the ball fields is May 24th with the parade at 3. And then Roberts Park Pool opens the 24th on a Saturday, and Summer Discovery's first day is May 27th, and you can still sign up to participate in Summer Discovery. That's it.
So we're having opening day of baseball and opening day of the pool the same day. Oh, that'll be good.
We are.
All those grimy little kids can come down and go.
Sure. Come jump in the pool to cool off.
Jump in the
you
pool
go.
to cool off.
Yep.
Thank you, Marla. Do you have any questions for Marla? Okay. All right. Kelly.
So our Bunnies and Brownies event, as Marla said, went really well. We had over 400 come through, and then Breakfast with the Bunny also went really well. We had Dot Foods donated all of the food, which was very nice of them. Walmart also donated towards that, and Natco Credit Union, so it was a success. I think all the kids had a really good time. So the Living Well, Aging Well program is, we've had consistent attendance. The pickleballers are starting to move outside, so that's been neat to see. They played all winter inside. Now they're moving outside. They'll still come in May up through when Summer Discovery starts to play inside. And they're still utilizing the welcome room, so that's been really nice to hear laughter pretty much a lot of days a week. It's been really nice. Reed Pace Center came in on April 15th and played bingo, just a normal game of bingo, and they all had fun with that. So the pool, we have, my report says 19, but we have 18 lifeguards for this summer. The last 3, I believe, are finishing up their Red Cross training. They should be done within the next couple weeks. So I'm super proud of all the ones that have endured the, it's not easy to get your lifeguard certification, so I'm proud of them. We've been working on updating just all the binders and all of the information for the pool, making new signs. We have Spartan Work Day coming up on May 7th. We hope to get a lot of cleaning done at the pool. And then on May 17th, we're going to have staff-wide training for the concession workers, the managers, and the lifeguards. And then opening day is May 24th. So we're looking forward to a great preparation for that. Everybody should be super prepared and organized. Upcoming projects, we had our indoor garage sale last Saturday, and I think it went really well. I reached out to a few of the vendors that set up, and they said that they did really well and they would like to do it again. May 15th is the annual Elders Luncheon at the Miller Building. The park hosts this every year to honor any community members over the age of 80. It's a free lunch. Anybody that's interested in attending can contact Mary Ann Morris, or you can call the park and we can get her information for you. So just future goals are just to have a smooth training sessions for the pool, and also to do some incentives for the employees at the pool this summer, just to make it fun and rewarding. And then another goal is to just come up with some more outdoor Living Well, Aging Well programs.
Okay, great. Thank you. On to vote.
Thanks. So, weather has definitely not been our friend for our soccer season this spring. We had to cancel the first and the third week. I am making those games up, trying to. I have to figure out whenever my referees can get there, which is a tall task since they were just planning on Saturday. So trying to find those games throughout the week is fairly difficult. I do have most of them already rescheduled. They're actually going on. Some are going on right now. So glad we were able to get this in tonight before what the rest of the week has to come and weather-wise. Tournaments for soccer start May 17th, and the last day of the tournament will be May 24th. So big day, May 24th.
Yeah. So we have the finals of the soccer tournament that day, plus the pool opening, plus, oh, cool. On soccer, you told me where we could park. Nobody knows we can park there. Can you put some sort of even temporary sign up that says you can park on that grassy area?
Yeah.
Because we were not able to park there before, and now people don't know that they can park there.
Right.
So even just a little Walmart type sign that says, extra parking would be really helpful.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, and you know where I'm talking about there.
Yeah, back in the back lot.
Back in the back.
Yeah, also with how much rain we have, people
Yeah, well,
might have been a
yeah,
little
that's
skeptical to go back there, but
well,
but yeah,
the first row wouldn't be too bad, and also you and I had spoken very briefly about getting that back road rolled somehow, because it's pretty treacherous. There's big chunks of asphalt sticking up and big
Yeah.
rocks sticking up, and it's not easy to walk on. And an easy fix would seem to be just get a roller in there and get it rolled.
yeah, correct. Yeah, I still need to to make some phone calls and figure that
Okay,
one out.
well, and also the fields could use it too, because they're getting a little bumpy.
They could, they probably could. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can get all that figured out by the fall soccer season. So.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, that's great. Love
Well,
the feedback.
I'm there, so.
Yeah, right, right. So, co-ed softball and church league softball registrations are open. $300 is the registration fee for the co-ed, $250 registration fee for the church league. Co-ed deadline is May 23rd, and the church league deadline is July 12th. With both those seasons following probably the week or two after the registrations close. So, baseball, softball, and t-ball, all the drafts are completed. We just finished on Thursday, so if you haven't heard from a coach yet, we did the t-ball drafts on Thursday. So, I would say if you don't hear anything by Wednesday of this week, to give us a call and we can let you know what coach your kid is on. Like we said, opening day is May 24th, with the parade starting at 3. First United Methodist Church was nice enough to let us use their parking lot again. So for the people that are familiar with what we did last year, we'll be doing the same route. But if you're not familiar, we will meet in that church parking lot. We will go down Central to 6th Street and then 6th Street down to Water Street. So. Baseball, softball games will be played after the opening ceremony, with the t-ball games being that following Sunday. And my goals for the summer are to have a successful summer discovery. This will be first year without Scott. He was a huge part of that program. I think he got us in a pretty good spot, and I got 3 really good managers, so I think we'll have a great year this year.
How many baseball/t-ball teams do we have this year?
Kids pitch baseball. We have 6. Coaches pitch baseball. We have 8. We have 9 5- and 6-year-old t-ball teams, and 7 3- and 4-year-old t-ball teams.
Oh, cool. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then we have 5 coaches pitch softball teams. We usually have a girls fast pitch softball league. We only had 17 girls sign up,
Okay.
unfortunately, so we weren't able to have that league, so we did issue refunds for everybody that signed up for that league.
Okay, well, a lot of those kids that play the fast pitch play other places.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct,
they play other
correct.
places. Okay.
And that is all I have.
Thank you. Any other questions for Logan? Okay, great job, everybody. All right, on to the old business. Marla, is the fair board discussion.
Yeah, so I had just asked everybody to look over the contract, look over the information that I had handed out to you last time, and review kind of just where we stand. We will not be taking a vote. I just want to hear your feedback. I want to know any recommendations, because our contract will be up for re-sign for next year, and so I will take any recommendations to the mayor, and we will discuss that. And then what I'll do is, once we have kind of a decision made, I will go over that with probably Amy Seiler, and then we will pick a meeting, a board meeting that we will present that and vote for the final contract. We'll allow the fair board to come if they'd like to come, if they need to ask any questions or anything like that. So I just wanted to, because ultimately it's the Parks Board's decision on the contract moving forward, so.
Okay, any discussion?
This could be very tense. And that's exactly what we don't need. Because the Parks Department has their purpose, and certainly the Fair Board has theirs. And it's all about making a good experience for the people of the community. And the fact that our costs that we incur have increased, everybody's costs have increased exponentially over the last few years.
And we're not passing that.
we've not passed that, we've not passed that along at all. And we want to continue, if at all possible, having a free fare, because we're one of the few in the state. But there's just very difficult decisions, and the state legislature is not helping municipalities and school corporations alike at all, as far as helping subsidize some of these things. So it's going to be up to local subsidies, and hopefully both sides can get this worked out. But we can't afford to lose money, particularly on the electricity. That was
Yeah.
huge.
Well, fair is fair. We provide the staff, we provide, I know there was a controversy about the trash bags and things like that, but we have been providing those. I mean, it does take a lot of our staff's time. We are not able to rent any of those facilities during that period of time, so we lose money there. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that maybe they're not seeing on our line items, but those are things that we're missing out on. And then we're also not even covering the cost of the part that's incurring during that period of time. So I think, as far as going forward, my recommendation, and of course it depends on everybody else's, but, they need to find their own people to clean and their own people to do their trash and all that. That's one of the things that we could do to save from our employees doing that. And then I do believe, as far as contracts, that needs to be renegotiated every single year with the way costs are. Because we have to do our budget on an annual, so why should we not have to do this on an annual too, to do a review? Because as you know, from one year to the next, our costs have went up. And I think the analysis has been done multiple times over the course of several, I know you've done it, to be able to show what those expenditures have been and how they've increased over that time.
I will say that when Chad and I met with, when the mayor and I met with a few of the fair board members, we did have a pleasant conversation. We both understand each other's sides and views and the things that we deal with and what they have to deal with. And they did say that they will supply all the trash bags that we use. My recommendation was to my recommendation was that they make sure that their vendors are cleaning up their trash and dispersing their trash to the bins that the fair provides, not to our trash cans. Because that makes for longer mornings and a lot of mess, because they pile it in our trash bins, and then when we go to pull the bag out, the bag rips, the trash is everywhere, they have to clean it all up. A lot of times the vendors will pour their oil in the trash bags, and it really is a big mess, and it takes about 4 hours.
So they need to outline with their vendors as they're coming in that is not acceptable, and those receptacles are for the people attending the fair for their just regular trash, not for their trash.
And then the other thing that they had recommended for us as far as the contract, they have to set their, the reason they ask for a 3-year term contract with us is so that they can and they know what their budget's going to be for the next 3 years, because they have to book out the fair rides for 3 years in the future. Because the company that they choose to go with, that's how they book out in the future. And so this allows them to budget for the next 3 years what their bills are going to be. And so that's why they request that we do a 3-year contract with them.
So then my thought process, not necessarily the recommendation at the moment, but my thought process would be then we basically show a tiered increase over 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, just,
Yeah.
here's year 1, year 2, year 3,
Whatever.
we can't forecast exactly what it's going to be, but as long as we are that projecting. And if it's over projected, then we can always give it back. I mean, that's my thought, you know, is, but if we under, then we are stuck with it coming out of our budget. And we know what our budget is and we know how we have, you know, it's hard.
Well, and the
Yeah.
3-year thing is problematic for the school corporation because we cannot start school during the fair. And we start school earlier and earlier, and the 3-year thing really, really helps setting up the school calendar, as we need to do to get the first semester over by Christmas. So, the school board works off the fair board's calendar, as far as that's concerned. And their big thing has been, their big thing with us has been 3 years.
Yeah.
That they have to do this, so.
Right.
And I can't think of the numbers off the top of my head, Marla, but can we go back and have like those 3 years and do the percentage of increase? Just to see
Yeah,
if you
the
have that.
biggest one has been our utilities, which we had expressed our concern because our utilities between this year and next year will rise 16% along with everyone else. And,
Right.
you know, so everyone knows that this is happening. And so that was our biggest concern with our budgeting, because our bill for all of our utilities rises tremendously during that week, more than the rest of the year. And so that was one concern that we had presented to them.
Couldn't we get those kinds of figures? In other words, we look at an average week, and then we look at the fair week, and look at the difference and kind of project what that is compared to an average week, and figure out a percentage of how much to include then?
Yeah, which we have the last couple of years. Since I've been here, we have calculated those totals every year.
Okay.
So we know how much it's been going up, but this year is a lot different because of this new utility.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Well, so we know that.
So even 2 years ago, we didn't anticipate that. You know, we didn't know that was gonna happen,
So
so.
kind of had to eat that.
Uh-huh.
So if we were just chatting here, me and Angie amongst each other. So they have opportunities, let's call it, for increase in their income. I know that camping each week, or for that whole week, is compared to other areas, very inexpensive. I'll just use that word, inexpensive. So there's one way to recoup
That was
some
one
costs.
thing that we brought up when
Okay.
we were speaking to them, is maybe that they evaluate what they are charging. I don't know if they will or not, and that's not our choice.
Right, but just ways that they can increase their profitability to then make this a little less impact.
They can also increase their rent space they have for the various vendors that are there and the various organizations that are there too.
Yeah, they have opportunities. I mean, they're day sponsors. That was just, a few years back that they even started that. And I know that's, a cost that factors in. But, I think as far as, trying to be as fair as possible for them, that we need to just set that, maybe, like I said, that tiered, and see what the percentage needs to increase over, on year 1, 2, 3. And that would be my thought process.
Well, I think that's very fair to everybody, because we know that there's going to be increases. And if they want to do a 3-year contract, to have that static for those 3 years just does
have
not
to,
make,
yeah.
it does not make sense. So, but if they know that these increases are going to be built in,
Then they can plan.
then they can plan ahead, they can plan ahead also.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and do what they need to do to help defray their costs.
Okay. Did you take away from that, would you?
So what are you recommending?
So my recommendation would be to tier the contract as far as the cost for the year 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So it would be based upon, and I don't want to say a number at the moment,
Yep.
but a percentage, like 25% year over year. And that would be reevaluated on the next, after the 3 years is up. And then we would see where we've been on this 3 years, and then move forward accordingly to that. And then you said they would be furnishing their own supplies, we'll call it. And, their vendors, they need to speak to them as far as maybe they need to, here's what's to do for the week, paper. you know, and then someone needs to monitor that. You know, someone needs to go around and monitor that the vendors aren't doing that and keeping track of it. So keeping a little more, accountability, let's call it, for the vendors that are set up. You can't tell me that people do that all over the place, because there are places you go that are very nice and people aren't doing that. So
Yep.
it's just probably about just keeping up on it and making sure it's done. So just, that, and then, you know, my thought is additional staff. They need to provide additional staff. I know we've had that conversation before. It takes the park staff the first part of their day
Yeah.
and then some in order to do that. So I think it would be just fair. I'm not saying we can't provide some for the trash receptacles that we have in the park, but if it's going to be over and above that week, they need to hire 2 or 3 additional people to cover that. That's my recommendation.
We'll find volunteers.
Or volunteers. I don't know how they do it.
No, just so they have
it
people
needs to be
to-
someone other than our park employees, because we have too many areas to mow, too many other things to take care of in the summer. That's our busiest time. And, you know, we want to remain partners, because Fayette County, Connersville, we're one of the same. So we do enjoy the fair, but it does come with a price to both sides.
Okay.
So. Okay, all those in favor of my recommendation to Marla?
A three.
Sounds good to me.
Not trying to take over
Yeah,
there,
we
just-
won't have
okay.
a
No,
vote
but I
tonight,
think that that's just fair.
It is. It is.
And if we can get some solid figures about how much it's going,
The increase.
how much the increases are, because we know they're not gonna go down, and we know that it's gonna be at least 16%.
And we all are feeling that everywhere.
Yeah.
It's across everywhere, so, okay. All right, we'll go on to, if everybody's okay with it, we'll move forward to new business. We have a horse stall rental, barn number 1, Grant Quinn. So we just, any questions or concerns that came up during the application that we need to know of? Okay, all right.
Just make sure that he knows exactly what it is. And he says he does, so.
He signed it. Okay, we're in their signature. Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve the rental for the horse stall, barn 1.
So moved.
Okay. Have a second?
Second.
Rob? All those in favor, aye. Those opposed? Okay, motion carried. Miscellaneous business, we have the May board meeting date.
Yes, I just request that we move that to May 27th, which is a Tuesday, instead of Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There's no other people meeting that day.
Justin, is your calendar available May 27th?
It's just that we couldn't move things because somebody else was already.
I actually already have you down.
Okay,
Thank
Okay.
you.
Still,
Thank you.
and still the 6:30 time slot?
yes.
Okay. Okay, you guys good with May 27th at 6:30?
Yep.
Okay, all right. All right, moving on to claims including payroll.
Nothing extraordinary.
I didn't see anything, Marla, anything that you wanted to bring to the,
No, mm-mm.
okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve claims including payroll.
I'll move to approve claims and payroll.
Okay, Angie, and second? Have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Ann, we'll take Ann. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carried. There is no public forum this evening, so I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Robbie's job. The new
You
guy.
ready to adjourn?
Yes,
the new-
motion that we.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Angie, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
That's the new guy's job. He has